Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the A Collision with Purpose project Under the Spotlight. Here, individuals are given the opportunity to explore self in pursuit of their purpose. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson, and I'm your host. The A Collision with Purpose project allows individuals to pause, take a quiet moment and listen, be introspective, and engage self-reflection in pursuing their purpose to unleash possibilities with far-reaching implications for self and others. Today, the A Collision with Purpose project spotlight is on Mr. Juan Lopez, professionally known as Juan Mambo Lopez. Mr. Lopez is a dance teacher specializing in any dance that is Latin-based. He's also an advocate for social change. Folks, let us welcome Mr. Juan Mambo Lopez to the A Collision with Purpose project Under the Spotlight.
What's up, everybody? It's Juan Mambo Lopez.
Juan Mambo Lopez. I'm digging that name, Mambo. So, Mr. Lopez, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the A Collision with Purpose project on the Spotlight. I am looking forward to having an engaging, insightful, and interactive conversation with you about a topic which I believe is arguably one of the most consequential concepts in forming how we function as individuals and ultimately what we perceive as our legacy.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm really happy to be here, excited, and definitely interested in seeing what it is that we're gonna go ahead and dig deep into.
Yes, sir. We're gonna dig deep into purpose today. So, Mr. Lopez, Mambo, you're going to explore self in pursuit of your purpose. I will be asking you a series of questions relating to purpose. Are you ready to conduct an exploration of self in pursuit of your purpose?
Yes, I am definitely ready.
Definitely ready. I like that. Definitely ready. And I think that's something that is important in your career as well. Whenever you hit that stage, you must always be ready, right?
Yeah, 100%. You have to be ready. If you're not ready, you were to practice enough, right? You practice enough. You didn't really think about it too much. You're kind of just going by, right? So you always gotta be ready, and not just in like dancing, but just in anything in life, like
in anything in life, which is why purpose is such an important concept. So I believe that in any serious conversation about purpose, given its importance, all conversation should begin with a definition or a description. Would you be so kind as to define purpose for our listeners? And please do so in a general way.
So I think, what purpose means. So I believe that like purpose is pretty much the idea of either creating something or doing something that's going to directly or indirectly pretty much impact another person or the existence of something specific. Like it doesn't have to directly impact the person, but what you're doing can directly impact something else. So I guess it's just like the act of doing something that's going to impact something else, whether it be in a positive way or in a negative way. Directly or indirectly, that's what I believe like purpose is.
And I'm so pleased that you make a distinction that the outcome can sometimes can be positive or negative. And I'm also pleased to hear that you talk about implications for others. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, implication for others. And that suggests to me that your view on purpose is an important concept. So can you dig into why you believe purpose is important for you and others to have some kind of understanding about?
Yeah, I feel like it's important to understand or have an idea of what like purpose is, at least if you don't know your purpose yet, or if you're still discovering your purpose. I think it's important to understand, because without understanding that, you're kind of just living through the motion. And I feel like without having a reason or some sort of motivation to do things or help others or change lives or change businesses or, whatever it is. If you don't really have a good understanding or a good approach to how, what purpose is or what your purpose is, again, you're just kind of going to be living through nothing. And when you do that, I feel like it pretty much creates scenarios where you become lost as an individual in your own life, trying to figure out what it is that or navigating life, trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. And some people, I feel like, can stay there for a very long time. And sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes people are settling, and sometimes people are, denying or kind of running away from what may be their purpose for other reasons, personal reasons, things like that. So, I mean, overall, I would say, I think it's important for people to understand purpose because it will allow you to navigate through your own life better and deal with problems a lot better.
So it's about a roadmap, huh?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
It's about a roadmap. Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. When you know where you're heading, it's easier to create a path to get there.
Right. And also deal with like any problems that may come through that path, because you're already kind of anticipating, things that you may come across within your, that roadmap.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about your purpose. Can you share what is your purpose with us, please?
Yeah. It's funny because, up until I was like 23 years old, 24 years old, just like thinking about purpose, I realized like I didn't feel like I had a purpose at the time. I never thought about it. I was younger, I was going to college, and I was just playing basketball in school, going to school for marketing, just said, whatever comes from this, it comes from this. I came to school to play basketball, and like, that's just that. Like, I'm going to go ahead and go like this. And it wasn't until I started dancing, which I started dancing really late. It was right around that time, 24 years old, where I started to feel this idea of purpose. Like I started to feel like, hey, this is something that I think maybe I should be doing, because what happened was I started just dancing for fun, and then people wanted me to teach them. And then that led to me teaching at studios at a very, very fast rate. Like I shouldn't have been teaching. I wasn't really good enough yet, but I just went with it because I enjoyed it. And then I started to enjoy it a lot more and take it more serious. And I pretty much, was just teaching a lot at a very, very young stage in my career in dancing. And at that point is when I felt like, okay, this is probably what I was supposed to be doing. I should have been dancing a long time ago, and I should have been helping others through dance a long time ago. And that's when I started to feel like my purpose was to help others, specifically through art, different forms of art, because that was, kind of the way I approached it. And yeah, so I mean, I would say my purpose, was at that point when what I discovered was that what I've always felt since then up until even now, right, is that my purpose has been always to help others through my teaching, right? Because it wasn't like I had a dream to, own a dance studio and be this dancer all over the world. Like I never, that even right now, it's not something I'm like super interested in, but it was the teaching side of it that I fell in love with pretty much. And so at that point I felt like, my purpose was to help others through my teaching. And it was dance at the time, and still is dance now too, but there's other things that I do as well. And anytime I'm teaching any of these other things, I feel like that's what I'm here to do, is to help others through my teaching of the things that I'm good at, that can help help change other people's lives.
And not to mention that through your dancing as well, not just the teaching element of it, but the enjoyment that others are getting from it.
Yeah. I've always felt, with dance, I've always felt like dance is one of those like only things that no matter who you are, no matter what you do, dance brings joy to you, like no matter what. But even if if you're not a good dancer, if you are a good dancer, like it doesn't matter. I feel like dance is something that everyone in the world could benefit from one way or another. No matter what. It's not one of those things where it's like, you do it and you just automatically you're like, down or depressed or mad or sad, or it's like anytime you see people dancing, it's always smiles, pretty much.
Always. So early in your life, in your going to school, it was more about having fun, just enjoying life as it should.
Yeah, right. It was, more about having fun, enjoying life, and I was just playing basketball. Like that was kind of like what I was doing, right? But I mean, that's just all it was. That takes me back to what I said earlier about like when you don't have an understanding of like a purpose or what it is, or you don't think about what you're destined to do on this, on this planet. I feel like you just kind of getting by, and that's what I realized I was doing. I was just getting by. I'm just, that was it.
And then you had the collision with your purpose.
Right, That collision.
And here you are right now.
Yeah, exactly. Now here I am, and I'm, teaching a lot more and helping a lot of people, and impacting people through teaching dance and other things as well.
And tell us, where are you right now? Because I see in the background, it's quite an interesting background there. Where are you right now?
I'm at the dance studio where I teach lessons at.
Okay. You mind sharing the name of the studio?
Yeah, the studio where I teach lessons at is a Tumbao Latin Dance, and it's out of Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for doing that. And for those individuals that are probably listening or watching, currently live in your locality, just in case they want to look you up, and maybe you can share some of your knowledge with them about dancing, right?
Yeah, for sure.